really, really organically. We just kind of linked up. You're like, yo, I'm super into the phase shit. I think you started putting it in your bio before it was even a thing, right?
Facts.
Dude, everybody loves you. You know how I talk to industry people all the time, and like your name will come up and they're like, I love him. I love him. Like, it is so impossible to be loved by everybody, but especially like in this gaming space, in this internet space, like everybody loves you.
And you're fucking tapped in too.
Yeah, I am. You know, I'm myself, bro. Now I don't try to be nobody else. I don't get in nobody's business. I just do my thing, you know what I'm saying? And show love when I can to whoever.
Yeah, you're never really talking shit to people. Nobody's really ever talking shit to you. Just today, Aiden uploaded a vlog. You were in it. It's funny. And Aiden's like a young buck fresh on the block, and you're tapped in with him. He fucking loves you. You were actually at the house the other day. It's cool. It's fire.
Yachty knows his stuff because, like, look, I've been talking about this like crypto coin, like SafeMoon, how I like it. I've invested in it and stuff, and it like popped off, right? And I got like a lot of credit for calling that one, right? Yachty was in that before me.
Right. I was on SafeMoon early as dog shit.
What coins are you in?
I'm in Doge, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, obviously regular Bitcoin. Wait, let me go check because I got a couple. I actually got a shit ton. Let's see, I'm gonna call them all out.
You have your own coin, right?
I got a little Yachty coin. I have a little Yachty coin.
Yeah.
Basic attention token. I got the Graph. I got Uniswap. I got Stellar, Compound, AAVE.
Damn, we're getting the whole portfolio.
I think those are all of the ones that I have.
We're not financial advisors though.
That is the biggest key. We are not financial advisors.
We are not.
Dude, my lawyer, I'll forget it, and my lawyer will be like, you didn't say the thing, so then I'll have to make a tweet underneath it. I am not a financial advisor. I am a YouTuber.
Why is that a thing? Why is it like so like?
Because Banks, listen, if someone's following like, you know, Little Yachty or me or whatever, and we're talking like SafeMoon or whatever, right? And they invest in it and they lose money, they could potentially sue you and be like, I thought this guy was a financial advisor, you know, like.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird. Yeah, Doge, man. Doge has been going fucking crazy. I've made a lot of money this year on crypto.
Doge. And of course, Doge. Of course, I got Doge.
Yeah, I got into that one really, really early. So is this internet thing, is all this internet shit, internet culture shit with you, is this new, or have you always been an internet kid?
I've always been into the internet, bro. I think, you know, I've always been to the internet, always, but then, you know, my career popped up in 2016. I kind of never let down. I was always really tapped in, whether it been to just like memes or just being really goofy. You know, even my whole career, I never took it too serious. You know, like I never, you know, I just never tried to do that whole rapper thing. You know, it's all tough and all serious. I just go with the flow, bro. You know, I really just enjoyed myself. I used to do Vine. You know, like I was on Vine.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm heavy on TikTok.
I can't do it.
You know who else is like one of these rappers that's like really in tune with the internet is that Little Nas, man. Like he gets it. You could tell before he blew up.
Me and Nas went to the same high school.
Really?
Really? I didn't know that.
How old is he?
Yeah, we did. I'm older than him, though. I think he's like 21, 22. I'm about to be 24.
You guys are so young, man. It's fucking crazy.
He's another one.
Keem, doesn't that bum you out?
Yeah. That we're super old.
Listen, motherfucker, you're super old. I'm just old. I'm finally at the point where I can accept the fact that I'm old. I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 in October. That's so fucking whack, dude. I honestly can't.
You know how all these kids have a YouTube, right? You know how all these kids have a YouTube channel, right? They're always saying like, "Oh, you're a 40-year-old dude," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm still getting more views than you."
It's facts, though.
You know, like.
It's because we've been in it for so long. What was your first ever? This is a cool question. What was your first internet hustle? Like, what was your first taste of like internet money?
I used to scam. So I had Bitcoin 2015. Like I was going to fucking Bitcoin ATMs, getting Bitcoin, buying credit cards and social securities, and I was just scam. I used to sell flights for the low. Like, I would book you a flight. I used to sell train tickets. I used to get movie tickets. That was my college hustle. Like, I used to scam, and I had people. And it got me a vibe, bro. For real. I used to sell plane tickets and all kind of shit. Whatever you need, I was your guy for the low.
That's awesome.
Yo, listen, there's this meme going on the internet. This meme, it's hilarious, right? And it's basically a screenshot of someone's DMs where they're reaching out and they're like, hey, this is Iron Man. You might know me from the Marvel movies. I lost my wallet and I need money for a flight. Can you PayPal me?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was literally, that was little Yachty. That's what Yachty used to do.
No, I didn't even have to do all that, bro. I was really on the dark web. Like, I was on the dark web just paying for that shit. I had your shit and it was up and we was making it work. I ate for free in college just off other people's credit cards.
What are those cards that people have been getting from the COVID relief? What is it called? EDN or whatever?
Oh, you talking about EDD?
Yeah, EDD. I wonder how many people have come up on that shit. I feel like you could definitely scheme that shit.
All my folks coming up off that shit.
I don't even know what that is. What is it?
It's government assistance.
Oh.
Like COVID relief money.
No, I saw on the news because like there was like billions and billions of dollars worth of fraud with all that. And it's actually organized crime that's behind it all. Yeah.
And the dark web internet kids, you can go on the deep web and buy dead people's fucking information, social security numbers, all that shit, and then you just attach that to some like off-site address and go pick up the mail, and there you go. You have a card with fucking couple racks on it.
Now listen, kids watching, all right? Don't do any of this stuff.
Look, fuck all that. Look, hey man, if you broke and you need you some money, man, go hustle.
No, listen, it is important.
Yo, Banks, we got insurance on this show, right? I'm not trying to get sued.
You gotta understand, King, nobody, and a lot of people don't understand this, but you gotta understand nobody's gonna do it for you. Like, no one is gonna give you a break. Like, you have to make your life. And I'm not saying to make that, I'm not saying go be illegal, but whatever it is you want to do in life, no one is going to do it for you. Whether that's be a YouTuber, whether it's be a rapper, whether that's go to school, a doctor, whatever it is, you have to do that on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's very, very true.
Like, I got $1 million. Here you go. Your life is changed. You have to be that change.
The sad fact is there's a lot of things that play into someone's success or someone's ability to reach whatever success is in their mind. Whether it be the area you were born, the fucking parents that you have, the friends that you come up with, whatever. But the motherfuckers who sit around and bitch and expect like shit to happen for them or just blame it on the whatever the fuck, like you've already lost the battle.
100%.
You're not gonna be successful. You do have to get up, go out and fucking make it happen for yourself. Sometimes people are forced into a corner and they have to do fucking terrible shit. Or, step outside the bounds of like the law, and that's a decision that everybody needs to make for themselves though. So that being said, kids, you really shouldn't be fucking doing any of this shit. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get caught. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But
you hit him with the maybe you'll get away.
I'm not telling you it's a good idea. It's not a good idea to do any of this shit. That's what I'm a fucking YouTuber. My first internet hustle was hacking on Xbox 360. Modding my gamer score and changing my fucking avatar's skin color to be like blue and shit.
Yeah,
Nazi zombies.
Fire. How did you do that?
So I don't know if you guys
what was
remember
that called?
This forum, but seven.
No, there was a thing that Z-Tag or
Does
something.
That ring a bell?
What is that? How do you mod your
J-Tag.
Xbox? J-Tag. Yeah.
J-Tag. Do you guys remember the forum 7sins.com?
Yeah,
it was like an Xbox modding hacking forum, and I went on that forum and I found a whole thing about how to like hack your gamer score, because me and my homies, like when I was in high school, we used to like trip on like gamer score. Like that was like our thing. We competed with each other to see who could like unlock all the achievements for certain games, whatever. You had to call Xbox. You had to get this thing called a transfer cable. You had to tell them that you had to like kind of social engineer it. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of funny how I had to do it. Call them, say I want to move all my information from one hard drive to a new hard drive. I got a new Xbox. I want to put all my shit on the new one. It had a USB cable that you could connect to your hard drive, and then you downloaded these programs, and you could just basically check off the boxes, unlock, like, you get free gamer pictures, all this shit. And this was on this random forum, and I did it all. I had to wait for the thing to come in. I did it. I didn't think it was going to work, but it fucking did. It worked. And this didn't exist on YouTube. That's how I usually, like, that's how I would always, remember in the early days of YouTube, it was how-to videos. It was all how-to videos.
Yeah.
Those were all the videos that would get the most views. How to fucking cook an egg, how to change a tire on your fucking car, all that shit. So this video, no video tutorial existed on how to do this. So I made my own with like a hypercam and a fucking mic, and bought a mic from Radio Shack, all that shit. My first video I ever uploaded on YouTube got fucking 800,000 views. And this was in like 2008. So if you like account for inflation, and a video with 800,000 views in 2008 is like the equivalent to a video with fucking 20 million views today, honestly. After the first like 10, 20,000, I got an email from Google AdSense telling me to connect my PayPal and turn on ads and all this shit, and I could get paid. I had to triple check to make sure that this shit wasn't a scam. I was like, I honestly couldn't believe it. Long story short, did all that shit, made like $1,000, and that was my first taste of internet money. And I never went back. Dropped out of college for all this shit.
That's hard.
Phased the fuck
That's
out.
hard. What about you, King? Back in 1988.
He was there. He was there for the first computer.
King was there for dial-up.
Dude, I didn't have my first computer until I was like 23 years old.
Damn, I'm 23
I didn't
now.
have a computer as a I didn't have a computer as a kid. Like, I didn't know.
Keem, yo, listen. Now we're on the subject of hustling though. Keem, you got to tell the story about how you became a lawyer.
I didn't become a lawyer. No,
whatever the fuck. Keem's never been to law school. I don't even think you didn't go to college, did you?
No, I didn't go to college. I went to college for like a week, and I was like, this is lame. I'm not going in debt and doing all this work. It's not worth it. All I need is a piece of paper to get a job, right? Like those little diplomas. So I went for a job interview at an attorney's office to do legal collections. And I just printed up a diploma from a college and gave it to them, and they hired me.
That's what this motherfucker was doing before YouTube.
Yeah, I saved like $200,000 without going to school. I just printed up the paper myself. But hey, I mean, you just got to think outside of the box, I guess.
There was a story that broke like a year ago about this dude on Wall Street who acquired this like $100 million fortune. Super fucking rich dude, super successful dude who got his first job on Wall Street with a fake diploma. Never went to college. And he was just working on Wall Street as a fucking broker.
Did he get in trouble?
No, I mean, people try, like, I'm sure some people, because this shit, nobody found this shit out. It wasn't like news until just a couple of years ago. So I'm sure there were some people who were like mad about it. But at that point, this motherfucker's a big...
At my job, they figured out that I lied on my application, didn't go to college, and they didn't fire me because I was making so much money for the office. They were like, oh, we're going to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, if you could do the job, you could do the job, right? I feel like it's only a matter of time before college is just irrelevant. I mean, I really like FaZe has like fucking 70, 80 employees. I don't think we've ever asked or required a college degree or
how many times do you run into someone and they went to college and they have a degree, but the job that they currently have has nothing to do with their degree? Like, it just
nothing to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
More often than not, to be honest. Yeah. I feel like college is more about the experience. Unless you want to be a doctor or a fucking lawyer and you need to learn these like tools and skills and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't see why you'd ever spend the money.
Yeah, it doesn't make... Oh, dude, let's talk about your album. You got a new album coming out and a whole new project. I just saw it on Twitter.
You can find me in the heart of the city. You can tell me that I could have done more. You can show me why I'm here, what I'm feeling. All I know is all I know.
It's like a mixtape. We had like a little project I just dropped.
What is the name of it? Michigan?
Yeah,
Michigan Boy Bo.
Yeah. So
I love the cover of it.
It's killing it right now. It's really doing its thing right now. It was a tribute to, the state of Michigan and just the culture out there and all those guys out there. I really love that state and some of those cities in there. So I was just showing love today. I'm not even from Michigan, but I just like showing love over there.
the artwork is phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, so. I mean, if you're a fan of music, like what I do sometimes is I'll buy the record, like I'll buy the vinyl. I don't really listen to the vinyl that much, but I want that art, I want that.
Me too. I got a crazy collection of vinyls.
Yeah. Nah, that would.
Yeah, same.
Love vinyl. I actually bought a really expensive record player. I don't use it, but I bought it.
But what the few times you do, doesn't the music sound better? There's something about vinyl.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I've been really getting into like space.
Yo, same. Dude,
Yep.
that's so weird that you said that. I've been watching videos nonstop about simulation theory.
That too.
Yes. That shit is so interesting, bro. Space and just like what the fuck is all this will always be forever a super interesting topic. It's super fun to study that shit and watch those videos too. We should talk a little bit about sim theory because I'm sure not a lot of our listeners.
A little thing on Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was talking about.
Yeah, he's the best.
About simulation, right? And he was kind of just speaking on. Damn, I don't want to mess up his words, bro, because they were so like precise. If this was a simulation, he was saying either there would be someone man, fuck, I don't want to fuck up his words, but he was basically talking about like if there.
No, basically what sim theory. By the way, I fully believe in this shit. I genuinely believe that this is a simulation. And I'll tell you why. Keem, are you familiar with sim theory?
Of course, that this life is like a video game. And the reason why they think it's like actually a simulation is because the chances that it's not are way smaller than it is, because you can build simulations.
And I'll explain why. I'll explain why.
Go ahead.
It's all right. So this could be the one true like universe, the one actual true authentic like beginning of time universe, right? That's one option. A couple other alternative like options are assuming that we're the only intelligent life that could create simulations of the universe. We destroy ourselves before we ever could do that, or we just choose to never do that. But those are basically what it is look at like what we've accomplished with technology and just simulated anything like video games, for example. Look what we've done now in comparison to like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago. None of this shit even existed. These ideas didn't even exist. Nobody thought that any of this shit would be possible. Technologies grows exponentially. So in the next 10, 20, 100 years, what the fuck are we going to be able to create with machines and computers? And especially when we like open up that fucking artificial intelligence, like that window, once that happens, like shit's just gonna get crazy. So basically, if you believe that we'll eventually one day be able to recreate a simulation of the universe, then we'll do that basically an infinite amount of times, right? Like you could press a button and simulate the
because you would make a simulation inside of another simulation and a simulation inside of another.
Would make
it's kind of like when you're playing GTA 5, right? There's video games inside of video games, right? Inside of that world, you can go to an arcade and play another video game, right? So if we had the technology to create simulations,
such a good example because you have GTA, you have the platform, you have the game, but then you have Aiden Ross's server and you have fucking T Grizzly's server, and then you have whoever the fuck else wants to create a server, right? And then you have GTA.
So this Earth might be a server, and there might be multiple. Well, there is a theory that there's multiple universes, right? And that there's multiple worlds, just like this, but just in different. What is it called? Dimensions, right? Each one of those dimensions could be a server.
And the thing is, if somebody could program consciousness is still one of the greatest mysteries of all time. Like we still don't know. Science still doesn't understand how we have consciousness, like how we perceive things the way that we do, how we perceive free will, all that shit. We still don't understand how the fuck that shit works. And realistically, it could just be, we just could just not understand how this rule works. The other thing too is the universe is all built on math at the end of the day. Everything is built off of like some kind of equation, right? 2 + 2 is fucking 4. Gravity, that's an equation.
And so are video games.
But that's what everything exactly. And sometimes we have mutations, right? You have glitches in video games. You have shit that just doesn't get programmed the right way, or it doesn't function the right way.
Those are ghosts. Those are ghosts. Those are aliens that we see in the sky, UFOs and stuff. Like those are the glitches.
Weird, bro. I was watching this movie too. I Origins last night, and there was something said in it that kind of really opened up my mind to this idea too, where it's like these worms, for example, we share a lot of the same DNA as the fucking common earthworm, but the way an earthworm interacts with its environment and with it, just the way it experiences life is drastically different than the way we experience life, right? It doesn't see things the way that we see. It doesn't have any concept of vision or color or music. It can't hear anything. It survives based off smell and touch, and that's it. It has 2 senses, smell and touch. Who's to say that there aren't a fucking million other senses and things right on top of us that we just can't see or interact with? You know what I mean? We'd be fucking crazy to think that.
They say that, the eyesight can only see, like, is it 10% or it's up to, like, because we can't see frequencies, we can't see energy, like, and that's all visible.
Yeah.
The eye
exactly.
just can't see
exactly. Yep. Like, it's a real thing. Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. Like, sound actually has a physical thing that's attached to it that actually exists, and we can't see it. Like UV rays, like shit like that. I don't know, it's a lot to think about.
Well, here's the other reason why simulation theory messes with us, right? Is because we all have, I guess you would call, interesting lives as individuals, right? So our lives really do feel like a video game,
Exactly.
No, facts. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot. I would say anybody interested in this shit, you should go look into it. That's all, and all that on top of all that, like, you have to automatically assume that human beings and Earth in general is we just have to assume that we're average, right? We're an average planet with an average next to an average star.
Like, you think we're superior?
Yeah. You've lost the plot. You're tripping. That's
Wait,
what
hold
I'm
up.
saying.
This is a game of Among Us. All right? Let's say the world is really a simulation, right? 2 of us in this call are NPCs, and one of us is the real player.
I've never actually played Among Us.
Bro, I see people sometimes, I watch people sometimes, and I genuinely think that they're NPCs. Like, that's a thought that's crossed my mind. Like, this person cannot be real. They're just...
Yeah, but hold up. Are all 3 of us real players in this simulation, or is 2 of us NPCs?
That's a good question.
That's a whole different thing.
Right.
I know I'm real. I'm the realest motherfucker.
I saw Little Yachty venting. I saw Little Yachty venting.
You guys should listen. Obviously, all 3 of us, none of us can properly explain this shit. None of us are like smart enough to do that. Anybody that wants to look into this, you really should. You could get lost. You could lose yourself for hours and hours and hours on this shit.
You'll go into a loophole, but it's definitely it's fun.
No, I would say that it's scary, and the reason why believing that the world is a simulation is scary, then there's no real life consequences to doing dangerous things or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, life doesn't have as much meaning if you are convinced that it is.
Because even like 5M, if you play 5M or some shit like that, like, there's still cops. There's still people who control the cops. Still people who could take you to jail or who.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's still there.
And listen, we're all still. If we are a simulation, we're all still programmed to feel things a certain way. Love is still a real thing. I mean, what is real? Anyways, you know what I'm saying? We still experience this the way that we do, and we have no fucking clue what happens after it. So, I mean, most of us are programmed in a way. But
if I was truly convinced that this was not real, right, and that when I die, I'm just going to wake up and realize that it's a video game, I might, have a shorter life.
You don't know if you're gonna wake up and and see it's a video game. The motherfucker CJ in San Andreas doesn't. But
he's saying like if some undercover evidence came out to the world and they said like, you know, this was a simulation, and if you killed yourself, you wake up, you know, it would probably be a lot of mass suicides.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What the fuck? What information could ever be brought to our I mean,
No,
what if,
never. You know,
imagine a window popped up in your vision, and everybody on the planet got that window, and it was just like, this is a simulation. Click here for more. Imagine that. You just see everybody pause. Yeah, what if somebody came?
Go ahead, Yachty.
If someone came from the future, like back into the past, and was like started to spread the message and had like some kind of proof.
No. This is how I think it would go down, boys. All right, think about this, right? The government, the Pentagon, keeps seeing these UFOs, right? They're coming out and they're like, look, man, there's really aliens, there's UFOs, right? They actually capture these people, right? And they capture the aliens and they're interrogating them. And we find out they're the moderators in the server of the simulation called Earth.
Even if they did, though, they still would not release that information to the public.
And listen, guys, we're not capturing any aliens. If aliens come here, we're never going to fucking know about it. These motherfuckers are going to be able to wipe us off the planet like the way that we can throw a cup of bleach on an anthill. That's just,
but you know what?
It's unrealistic.
You know what I think, though, Banks? You know what I think? I think that, you know, like how we call them aliens, it could be that they're literally the exact same as us, and they call us aliens.
No, 100%.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, humans like to do this weird thing where we think we're so much greater and special than we are, and that this all revolves around us. I'm not even necessarily suggesting that this whole simulation thing revolves around us. The universe is fucking infinite. There's almost an infinite number of other planets. There could be nearly an infinite number of other life forms in the universe. It's so big that you can't even wrap your fucking head around it. The Earth, in comparison to the rest of the universe, is smaller than a grain of sand in comparison to the rest of the world. Like, that's how little and insignificant we are. I think that we're just a little tiny speck in this random fucking simulation thing. And the basis of the whole theory is that if somewhere in the universe, some intelligent being, doesn't even have to be necessarily be us, and we're almost on the fucking verge of doing it. Like, we almost have the technology to be able to really like do some crazy shit like that, right? It could be a fucking alien on the other side of the universe who's been intelligent and has had technology for millions of years, who pressed the button on this simulation shit. And if you believe that that's possible, if you believe that at any stage in the original true universe that anybody has managed to be able to do that, then you have to assume that there's an infinite number of these simulations. And then if you believe that that's possible, we only have a fucking 1 in, let's say, 100 million shot at being the original universe. You know what I mean? Which is, those odds are slim.
But that would be the biggest flex in the world. If this was real, that would be the biggest flex in the world, right?
Maybe, yeah. But that's the thing. Who knows what happens after? CJ in fucking San Andreas doesn't wake up and he's a real boy. Like, he's a fucking simulated character in Grand Theft Auto. And like, when the lights go out, when you turn the Xbox off, you turn the fucking Xbox off. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what happens after this?
I don't like it because
it shouldn't change the way you live.
I don't like it because I like being alive. Like, I like being alive. I like life. I like, living. And when I start thinking about simulation theory and I really go deep down that rabbit hole, I lose credibility and respect, and I lose all that I love about being alive. And I don't like.
But why? But why? I don't understand why.
Because it's fake, and I want real shit. But
what do you mean it's fake? What even is reality at that point? I mean, I know that I can really feel my dick go inside of a girl. I know that I can really feel what it feels like to make $1 million. I know what it feels like to have someone close to me die. All those feelings don't change because I believe that this is a simulation. I still want to avoid pain. I don't want to run in front of a fucking moving vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like break a bone. I'm going to still take care of myself. I don't want to experience any of that shit. I want to have a great life. I want to laugh and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Why would that change any of that shit?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I could understand how it would like freak somebody out or like make somebody feel some type of way. I don't know. Who knows?
Let's say you're in a bad headspace.
Let's say you're in a bad headspace. There's a fucking karma meter, and at the end of it, you wake up and it's like, damn, homie, you were a piece of shit in that simulation. You know what I mean? Like you fucking you lost the game. You know what I mean? Here's your fucking.
Do you want to hear the
Here's
scariest experience of my life? Want to hear the scariest experience of my life?
When you're on a school bus and saw the fucking UFO.
No, but it was when I was a child. If I had to guess, because I don't really remember, I would say I was probably about 12 years old. I was laying in bed. It was late at night, and I was thinking about space, and I left my body, right? And I was out in space, and I started going to complete darkness. There was absolutely nothing, and I was there. I was not in my bed. I was in complete darkness, no stars, nothing. And it was the biggest fear I've ever felt in my entire life. And I snapped back into my body. That's a true statement.
And your uncle was laying next to you, cuddled up.
Like the thought of like going into space and then getting lost, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was there. But there wasn't stars. I could not see any stars. I was literally in darkness.
Just floating.
Yep. And I was being pulled, like I was moving, but I couldn't see anything, but I was moving, and wherever I was, I traveled to this place that was pitch dark. It was the most terrifying thing. And the best way I can describe it is I lost complete memory and identity of like who I am, my life, my parents, where I live.
Why do you think that happened? Was it just a bad dream?
I was thinking, I was in my brain thinking, and I left I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's hard to explain, but I was in a period, I would say, of like, maybe 3 or 4 long minutes of nothingness. It's so hard to explain because there's no details I could give you. Nothingness, like no identity, nothing, just gone.
If you guys had the option to like upload your consciousness into a cloud and just exist forever, would you guys do that? Like if you could avoid death, would you do that?
I don't think so.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would too. And the reason why is I just want to live forever. I don't care how I do it, but I just want to live forever.
It kind of sucks because it sucks for us, Keem, because I think we just fucking missed the boat on that. No pun intended. But I think that we're turning a corner, and I don't think we're too far away from that, bro. I think that eventually, I don't know, Elon Musk talks about this shit a lot. It's fucked up. I think if I could just put my, you know what I mean, put my consciousness into a cloud and exist in a virtual space and fucking just be able to be me forever, I think I would definitely pull the trigger on that. And I don't think we're super far away. I think we're gonna die before that happens, but
yeah, Yachty, why would you not want to live forever or whatever?
I don't know, man. I think it's just the way it's supposed to be. You know, you live your course and enjoy your life, and then, you know, whatever comes out there comes out there.
The only thing I'm afraid of is just losing all the experience. My favorite thing about existing and living is the experience, storytelling and fucking learning and growing and all that shit and relationships. I just don't want to lose that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just lights out because, I mean, realistically, that's the other conversation that people get super deep into is like, what happens after you die? And I mean, it's weird. It's kind of weird because none of us have ever been dead before, but we've all not existed before for most of time, right? The universe is 13 billion years old. We're all, 2 of us are in our 20s, and Keem's like fucking whatever the fuck you are.
Screw you guys.
But my point is, no, but listen. Where were you at, and what were you experiencing 100 years ago?
A nutsack.
Nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Not even the nutsack. Your dad's not 100 years old, is he? It's not.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You were floating in his nutsack while he was floating in your grandpa's nutsack. It's like I don't.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. We didn't even exist. Like, I don't know. We just,
I don't know, dude.
we just
Like
didn't
our
exist.
DNA goes all the way back, right?
Like, where were you at when George Washington? Where were you at when George Washington was trotting around? Like, you weren't anywhere. You just didn't exist. So I've always believed that death is after you're alive. It's the same exact thing that it was before you were alive. Just nothing, which is pretty fucked up. It's a dark thought, but I don't know. The lights are out. It's over. Not to kill the fucking mood, but
yeah, dude, that's kind of fucked up, bro. What? No.
yeah, I don't know. You want to hear something super ironic? This whole like God afterlife, like we're already on the subject, so it's so fucking ironic. I went to a Catholic high school for my first year. I ended up getting kicked out. Wasn't my thing, but I was enrolled to a Catholic high school my freshman year. And before I went into my freshman year, I always kind of latched onto the idea of like a greater power, a God, something, because I believed that, well, even if evolution's a thing, right? Someone had to snap their fingers and create life for the first time, right?
Yeah.
If you believe in the Big Bang, like life can't just spontaneously come from rocks or whatever the fuck. Like something had to
happen.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Flip the switch and turn life on. But listen to this. In my biology class at my fucking Catholic high school, this lady, my biology teacher, goes off on spontaneous life and how that can happen from gases and fucking scientifically how life, single-celled organisms, can spawn from essentially nothing, from things that aren't alive, gases and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I raised my hand and I double checked. I'm like, wait, are you telling me that you can create life out of pretty much nothing? And she's like, yeah, you can. From that point forward, I was like, well, fuck, there goes that, like, out the window for me.
Well,
like,
I mean, isn't that how, like, if you leave meat out and fucking bugs just create shit? Like?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, yeah, that is. But I don't know how that shit works because life already exists, right? I'm thinking of things in like terms of where the fuck did the first thing come from? And I never thought that was possible. But my biology teacher at my Catholic high school, where they're supposed to be trying to instill the fucking...
No, your biology teacher told you that life just came from a weird chemical imbalance?
Yes.
No, I don't think that's true. I think like the theory is that there was...
Bro, it is.
I thought it was an asteroid, like an asteroid hit Earth and brought some sort of first life here.
No, I mean that could have very well been the case, but no. Someone did an experiment in fucking like the 1800s with like a closed off thing with certain gases in it with no life present, and life came from nothing.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wow.
Look into it.
That's awesome.
I can't cite the exact experiment or whatever, but I just thought it was really ironic that Catholic school, they're supposed to be teaching about God and heaven and hell and all that shit, and that's kind of where my final straw was with the whole God thing, was that experience in that biology class. I was like, well, fuck. That was kind of my one fallback always until that. I was like, well, there has to be something, right? There has to be something because there's life. Somebody had to turn that shit on. I don't know. Look into it.
Yeah, that's mad wild.
I feel like I got super dark on this episode.
Anyhow, we got to close this thing up. Yo, where should...
Really? How long have we been recording?
We've been talking for like 45 minutes.
Oh, word. All right.
You want to keep going? I'll keep going.
No. I mean, no. We could wrap it up. I actually have a fucking dinner, a phase dinner. We're working on some shit. I got to go home, shower, wash my nuts.
I just
cool.
see the thing is you left it on that note where life could come. Like I thought it was a great moment just to end the thing. Now you're talking about showering your nuts. Now you've ruined the whole vibe. Like we're coming out.
Well, because I got spontaneous life spawning on my nuts, bro. I got random little bugs and bacteria spawning on my
Yachty,
shit.
one more time before we go. Where can people find you? Where can they find this new album? Like just.
You know, I'm everywhere, man. You can go on your local grocery store and you'll find me on aisle 6.